from the 2024 edition of the IKF Grand Nationals. My name is Caleb Yeska. Alongside me here this morning in the booth, the one and only Alex Stanfield, who gets set to go green double duty this weekend in 206 Senior and KA Senior. This is the IKF Grand Nationals presented by the Texas Sprint Racing Series, and all of us here at Kart Chaser are super happy to be here, I guess, for our first time at the IKF Grand Nationals, bringing you guys all the live coverage. On the racetrack now, the Mini Swifts, who are going around the racetrack. Aston Wyatt on our screens here, qualified second yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. But Alex, it's been a great weekend. You guys started on Thursday with all practice sessions, moved on to yesterday for the qualifying sessions, and then today 3 heat races, and then the main events tomorrow for the Duffy. You already have one here, an Eagle, I guess I should say, the qualifying trophy here under your belt already this weekend. And what does that kind of mean? You know, coming to an event like this, you've been to all events under the sun, to the Miami Grand Nationals, the Super Nats, and then you're here, I guess, for your first running of the IKF Grand Nationals. It's I guess, very, very historic, and a very, I guess, very long running event from all the way back to the 50s.
Yeah, I've never run an IKF National before, but I know how prestigious this event is, and just to get the Eagle is obviously an amazing thing, and I just want one more. I want the Duffy on Sunday, and I'm excited to get racing in 2 classes as well, 2 chances to win, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things, I guess, coming in this weekend, right? Some drivers opted just to run 1 class. You, I guess, have the luck to have two goes at it, right? And maybe win 2. And, winning 1 means a whole lot, but even winning 2 or winning multiple Duffys means a lot. For the likes of Cole Nelson, who's here this weekend with his Invader team in Cole Nelson Racing, he has 13 Duffys. I think 12 or 13 Duffys already under his belt. So that means a whole lot to him, having that many, and winning 1. Meant a lot to him whenever he did get it done. But Amarillo is definitely a very characteristic track, very, very flat, but very, very long. And what can you tell us about this racetrack here, Alex?
Yeah, I have a lot of laps here with TB Kart as well. We've been testing a little bit in the Rotax recently as well here, and the track, it's all about draft and LO206 Senior. The qualifying, me and Rudolph were just pushing. We know this track very well. We've raced here since we were in Mini. So we know how to race here and get the draft. KA all by ourselves, able to get it done. And it's going to be a close one in 206 with, I think, 30 guys. But it's going to be a chess match in 206.
No, definitely going to be a chess match. So we'll see if we can pull up that track map for you guys at some point here this weekend, and show you guys, I guess, and have a guy who has a lot of laps around this place to show you guys around this Amarillo Kart Complex as we throw up that map. Alex, run us through a lap here at Amarillo Kart Complex, starting from the start-finish line.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different direction than this map, but we'd be going counterclockwise. But so turn 1, you'd be going down into chicane. Make sure you stay to the left for the right. Going down the straight, on the map it says turn 5, and that one, it's all about staying to the left again. It's a switchback. In 206, we just lift. In KA, it's a small break, flat all the way in 206. Turn 8, again, it's all about not overdriving the corner, keeping the cart underneath you, getting the power down as soon as you can, turning in nice and late. Turn 9's flat in KA and 206. It's a quadruple apex. And this track's obviously designed around the Turkey track in Istanbul, the Formula 1 racetrack. Down the back straight, get nice and duck down for the nice wind here. In the turn 10, keep the cart stable on the braking. There's a big curb on the apex. You don't really want to hit that, but stay as close as you can. Get the power out. Down the back straight, it's a curved back straight, which is interesting, but get nice and low underneath the steering wheel. And then back around the last corner, or turn 1 on here. Hit the curb and then power out, and then that's a lap around Amarillo.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things, right? It's a very flowy racetrack that you really need to hit all your marks to really put in a good lap. And some people yesterday, or even on the Thursday, the first time they came out here, were really struggling to kind of hit every single mark, maybe even go over some of the curbs. That is really kind of, the fastest way around this racetrack. People may call it taking shortcuts, going over the curbs or whatever, but that's really what's going to help you out, put in a lap. throughout this entire day. And the Honda Kid Kart's now rolling out onto the racetrack here this weekend. I'm not sure, and I don't believe the Honda Kid Karts are going to receive Duffys here this weekend, or they may. Not entirely sure, but again, we have all classes ranging here from our Honda Kid Karts from 4 to around 6 years old, going all the way up to our 206 Masters and KA Masters as well here this weekend. So you guys heard it there from Alex. A lot of passing zones and a very, very track-dependent track in both 206 Senior and perhaps in that KA100 Senior class. Yesterday after qualifying, a lot of drivers were kind of complaining about the fact that they weren't able to get a draft, and that's where all the strategy comes into it. You know, you need to really time when you're going to go out on the racetrack, who you're going to go out with, because you need a driver who you can really depend on. You said it yesterday. You went out with Aiden Rudolph, a guy who you've raced with for very, very long whenever you guys were racing with Crosslink and across, I guess, all the national series as well. So for you guys, you went out with a guy that you trusted, and that ended up benefiting both of you guys. He got a pole position in the 206 Senior class. You got, well, I guess you didn't go out with him in KA, but you did get the pole there, and then in 206 you finished second. So it's kind of, you know, all strategy that takes in a play into the qualifying sessions, but qualifying is done and dusted. That was yesterday. We're going into racing action today, and Alex, and what can we expect, I guess, coming into today with racing action?
With KA, it's just going to be getting away from the pack on the start. But in 206, you cannot get away here. It's all about working together with people. Try to find somebody that has the same speed as you, who's not going to make mistakes, and you know, trusting that person until the last lap. You know, the last lap, do whatever you want. But until then, I feel like the best thing to do is just get away from the pack and, you know, get away from that midfield.
No, for sure. Getting away from the midfield is definitely going to be a big task at hand. But this weekend, what we like about the IKF Grand Nationals and being here, I guess, in the Panhandle, it kind of allows people from many different places to come out here and kind of compete, especially being the IKF Grand Nationals and the trophy that's given out here. We have people all the way from Nevada, from North Carolina, and from Florida making the trip out here to Texas to really become a part. The first year that the IKF Grand Nationals runs under, I guess, the Texas Sprint Racing Series, the entire crew that travels with the Texas Sprint Racing Series here this weekend. Brittany Lowball, her operation here this weekend. So good for us, I guess, to be here. I was actually at the Grand Nationals last year on what was also a great event at Speed Sports Racing Park, and then we're back here this year. And you know, it's always super exciting when you come out, and I'm glad that we get to live stream it here this weekend for everybody involved, and kind of the first time it's live streamed, you know, the first time in its history and its very, very long history that it's that it's live streamed. So we're super glad to be here, and it's definitely going to be a great weekend of racing. A minute and a half left to go for the Honda Kid Karts here. And this class is always one that provides an, Alex, when we talk about kind of, you know, moving up the ranks and moving through, I guess, you know, the ranks of karting through every single class. You started, you know, very similar to these kids in the micro Swift, the mini Swift categories as well. What does it mean, I guess, kind of to see kids younger than you, kids the ages of 4 to 6, move up, I guess, through the ranks of karting?
Yeah, I think it's great to see them, you know, progress as a driver as well. And I know they're looking up to the senior drivers as an example. So I think it's great to show that to them. And also, I think it's great to see, you know, what they can do as well, because they're so young. I mean, 4 to 6 is, I mean, I don't remember when I was 4, you know, obviously. I didn't start out in Kid Kart, but you know, I think it's great, and I love to see them battle it out there. And they're so competitive. I love to see it. I mean, even right now, you know, they're side by side in warm up down the back straight. I think it's great to see.
No, every single session, you know, they go out there and they want to be at the top of the timing chart. So we've seen a lot of these kids kind of you know, already show a lot of their pace across other Texas Sprint Racing Series events earlier this year at Kartmoto, at Nolan Motorsports Park, and at Speed Sports. Brody Brown, the driver there in the 17, has been one of the usuals who's at the front. Dusty Strayer as well. So, so you know, it's super exciting to see all these drivers kind of come out every single weekend, then a race for some national hardware on the Honda Kid Kart side of things. And you see all the dads and all the mechanics kind of telling their kids to push every single session, and you know, pointing at them emphatically to put their foot down on the gas. But the checker flag is out here at the moment, and one driver off the racetrack there. That's the number 12 of Strayer, who actually just went purple last time around, and he finds himself off the racetrack and pointing the wrong way. But we'll get him back on the racetrack here and getting set to go around again. But Dusty Strayer, your fastest driver on the racetrack. As we allow our Honda Kid Karts to come into the pits, we'll take our first commercial break of the weekend. And when we come back, you'll see our schedule here. Warm-up is at 8 a.m. Eastern. Heat races number 1 should be getting started at around 10:30 a.m. and we'll fix this graphic for you guys here shortly. But heat race number 2 will be around at 1:30, and heat race number 3 at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. But a lot of racing action sets that come our way, and again, become a KC Premium member for $9.99 a month, so you don't miss any of the racing action live. We are live from Amarillo Kart Complex, and we see the windmills waving on by, and we'll see you guys here in a couple of seconds' time after this quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
So you finally want to get behind the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I've been shooting for 3 years and I've never got to drive.
Well, you're going to need some more gear than just your helmet. Why don't you go to shopakr.com. They got their inventory online and they'll ship it the same day if you order before 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
They got shoes?
Yep.
Gloves?
Yep.
Rip protectors?
Got those too.
Can they make me go fast?
No.
Here at Acceleration Kart Racing, we've got everything you need to get on track. What happens next, well, that's on you. Check us out online at shopakr.com.
Here at MPG Motorsports, our main goal is to provide the best pathway into professional motorsports for our entire team, drivers and mechanics alike. We're based out of Whiteland Raceway Park in Indiana. For more information, contact us at chase@mpg-motorsports.com.
Studies show that even the best current generation of simulators only convince 50% of the human brain that they are real. Here at Simcraft, that just isn't realistic enough. Developed to offer the most realistic karting sim experience in the world, all testing has shown that the physics engine used in Simcraft's Grid 1 model convinces 90% of the human brain that you are actually on track. Now that is the real deal.
Welcome back to On Track Action here for the 2024 edition of the IKF Grand Nationals as we get set to go green for more of our warm-up sessions here today. As always, my name is Caleb Vieska. Joining me here this weekend in the booth is going to be Rocco Ruzic, and we'll have a number of guests up for this warm-up session, but here we have with our 206 Masters that get set to go out onto the racetrack. Todd Barron made the trip out here from North Carolina to go green in his Mach 1 machine here and had a good day of qualifying yesterday, finishing third. Phil Pignataro also from Florida out here this weekend and looking at putting some good results to put himself maybe in chance for a Duffy later on today. So we'll see how all this plays out. Kyle Uchinski leading the TB Kart South and Amarillo Kart Complex team here in KA Masters. Omar Pinales for his first session in, I guess, regional and national karting here this weekend as well for the CRG Nordam team. Nick Miller makes his return. The Maverick here this weekend looking to put himself within a shot of a Duffy. And there we see Todd Barron, a driver who we're used to seeing at the Cup Karts North America national events, always running up at the front. Won the first edition of the Summer Nationals and Legends. So Todd Barron, always a driver to watch, but Pignataro going to be a driver to watch here this weekend as well. So a lot of action getting set to come our way with the 206 Masters, who are the veterans of our sport and definitely going to show us how it's done. Todd Barron already has 2 Duffys to his name, both from 1979, if I'm not mistaken, and a couple of years later, here in 2024, looks to maybe put himself within a shot of winning 2 more. He is also running the 206 Senior class here this weekend, so Todd Barron definitely a driver to look out for here this weekend. Dudley out here, Jeff Chalmers here this weekend as well, so going to be a good weekend of racing already. Phil Pignataro was quickest, the 123.291. Ka100 up to 3rd in his backyard. Todd Barron 2nd. Jeff Chalmers 4th, Omar Pinales 5th, Nick Miller 6th, Marshall Steves in 7th, and Derek Dudley, your 8th place driver. I believe we do have 10 drivers here in this 206 Masters category here this weekend, but going to be a good one to watch as we follow around Ka100 for a lap around his, I should say, backyard here with Ka100. And we heard Alex Stanfield talk about the back straightaway and a lot of different passing zones, and getting a draft here is going to be super important for everybody here this weekend, and especially in the 206 classes, one of the most draft-dependent classes here this weekend. And for all these drivers, it's definitely going to be important for them to, stay in the draft, to push each other, bide their time, know when to make their moves. And you heard from Stanfield earlier as well, said it was going to be a chess match all the way through. And we'll follow around a lap here with Ka100. It starts with the bus stop chicanes, turns number 1 and 2, and then it goes to this other straightaway here, and all the way back to what's going to be one of the first big major passing zones. Whenever you stay in the draft, you either try to poke your nose out on what's going to be a left-hander here, a big carousel that's going to lead you to another right-hander here, and Ka100 going to follow us through, and what's going to be, I guess, a super tight battling on what's not the widest of racetracks, but definitely going to provide some good racing here. And then you go into this hairpin here, and then back to what was the quad apex that Stanfield was talking about earlier as well. What's going to provide us some very good racing, as you see some racing already further back in the field. And there you have it. Quadruple apex here, and what's going to be the back straightaway, what's known as the back straightaway, and another big passing zone here. We see a lot of drivers try to kind of go down the inside and make some moves. And then this back straightaway, the actual back straightaway here, that's a little bit of a curve right. And what's going to provide you into the last, and what we should say, the 3rd sector of this racetrack, as we follow along with another one of the Mach 1 karts, one of the GFCs, the CRG Nordam, and the Ricardo kart, the Maverick of Nick Miller. So that's a whole lap around the Amarillo Kart complex with 50 seconds to go here. Todd Barron, still your quickest driver. We'll see what it looks like this time when they cross the stripe. Barron still quickest. Phil Pignataro 2nd. Uchinsky 3rd. Pinales 4th. Nick Miller 5th. Marshall Steves cross the line 6th. Jeff Chalmers 7th. Derek Dudley, your 8th place driver here in 206 Masters. And already providing us some good racing. As you see Pinales kind of go side by side there for a second. Look for whatever bit of real estate that they can get. So they still battle it out, but definitely going to be a good weekend of racing here. Checkered flag is out this time by Todd Barron, still your quickest driver on the racetrack. Phil Pignataro 2nd, Ka100 up to 3rd, Marshall Steves in 4th. Omar Pinales fell back to the 5th spot. Jeff Chalmers in 6th, Nick Miller 7th, and Derek Dudley 8th. So they'll make their way into the pits, and Next time they get out onto the racetrack, it's going to be straight into heat racing action. And that was your 206 Masters. We'll go back to a quick commercial break. When we come back, more warm-up sessions coming your way. You're watching Kart Chasers live coverage of the IKF Grand Nationals.
Deep.
If you want beautiful, solid wood, made in America dining room furniture, come out and see the new selection of beautiful dining room tables, chairs at Gallery Furniture, and best of all, buy this beautiful, oh so comfortable, made in America dining room furniture, tables, chairs, servers. Gallery Furniture delivers free to your Houston area home in 3 or 4 hours tonight. Make family members on your beautiful new dining room table and chairs. Buy it today. New arrivals, Gallery Furniture delivers free in 3 or 4 hours to your home today.
Welcome to Rimrock Raceway, the premier karting facility and motorsport-themed venue in West Texas. While you're at the track, be sure to stop in to Victory Lane and enjoy our full-service bar and event center. We have live music and entertainment weekly, along with Texas's fastest go-karts available to the public. Located on West Highway 80 in Odessa, get your adrenaline pumping at Rimrock Raceway and live life full throttle.
Welcome back to the 2024 edition of the IKF Grand Nationals in Panhandle, Texas. Amarillo Kart Complex as our KA100 Juniors out on the racetrack now, and already issues for one of the CRGs, the 850 off the racetrack here early. But in the booth now with me, the one and only Riley Ken, who also has a lot of laps around this place, and one of our, I guess, very own kart chaser guys who makes his return to on-air action here. Riley, this is, I guess, a very long racetrack with one of the longest lap times that we see all year long at the Texas Racing Series. What can we expect from a racetrack like Amarillo Kart Complex?
Well, man, I think this track is always, it's going to be really fast, especially because there are so many straights around, but it's so crucial to get these little hairpins right. Like I've always harped on, maybe not myself, but I've always been coached on the fact that the back section, the thing that's 3, 4, 5 or 4, 5, 6 or whatever, Those corners were so crucial for the whole lap, basically. If you can't nail those 3 corners, then you're going to be dead down the straightaway and dead for the rest of the lap.
No, for sure, and that's one of the things that a lot of drivers talked about yesterday as well, right? I mean, you see on your screen here, Christopher Wakefield and Tyrone Kemper Jr., they're on our screens kind of drafting, pushing each other along and working with each other here. And that's one of the, I guess, important things about this racetrack. And one of the things that, maybe isn't so, I guess, dependent at other racetracks, the draft. Throughout the back straightaway and through all these kind of straightaway sections that kind of provides you to draft up and suck up to the rear bumper of somebody and then maybe even go for a move. How hard is it, to kind of be leading going into the last lap around a place like this? Because that's definitely not the place you want to be coming into the final lap.
I think that because the track is so technical that mistakes are so crucial. You cannot be making any mistakes at all. I mean, this track is very unconventional in the way the corners work and how the track is laid out, period. And I think that, seeing people make mistakes, I mean, especially in the lead is, it could kill you.
No, for sure.
More than other tracks.
No, yeah, and I completely agree. Definitely make or break situations here, and even following somebody, going into the final lap, it could be hard if you make a mistake and then you kind of fall back, and you see how deep everybody is into the brakes as the 815 there of Cox kind of just completely jumps over the that curb there, and a lot of drivers like going over the curbs to kind of just keep the momentum up. Is it a strategy going here? I mean, I know. I guess the final 2 turns going over those curbs could help a little bit. But Riley, you're more experienced around this racetrack than I am. Thoughts on the curbs, and does it help any little bit?
There is not a single curb on this track that is good to touch, except for maybe this little chicane in front of us. Everything else, you don't need to touch it. They're so weirdly shaped. Like, you can see it on some of the camera shots here. Like, they're just weirdly shaped. You don't want to ever hit them. It just unsettles a go-kart and kills you.
So let's take a look at some of the curves here. And you see kind of like the, I guess, mountaintop or kind of the triangle shape of these curbs here. And like Riley said, maybe going on the inside of the curb could be ideal or beneficial in some way, but completely hopping a curb, probably not going to be the best because, like you said, could unsettle a go-kart, and you see it there. Kind of that I guess, hill triangle shape of those curves.
And so you really just want to, like, at most, even just get the front tires on the paint. Like, that's at most.
For sure.
Get as close. I mean, Alex said it best really too. You just want to get as close as you can, but without really hitting it.
Yeah, no, as close as you can, and definitely. And you see this one kind of shaved all the way down. You see a lot of drivers kind of go over it. Yeah. And this is one of the curves that a lot of drivers do opt to kind of use around this place. And this is turn 1, a quick bus stop chicane, and we'll see a lot of kind of action going into this one. You see all drivers kind of hopping over it, and in my eyes, that's really the quickest way around this track when it's so shaped down. But if it was an actual full-size curb, then I don't think it'd actually be beneficial for many drivers.
Yeah, I mean, that curb especially, I mean, is one that we're able to hit, and it's able to hit well and set you up pretty well for the rest of the lap.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be ideal here. But we look at the field now. David Ibarra, one of the quickest drivers here on the racetrack, currently purple. Tyler Roberts in second. Tyrone Kemper Jr. third. Christopher Wakefield made the trip out from Florida to be here this weekend. Eli Cox in fifth. Duquette in sixth. Luke Cruz, Amarillo native for the TB Kart Amarillo Kart Complex team here in seventh. Davis Henry eighth. Cadence Presley in ninth for the AMPG Academy boys, also making the trip out here to run the IKF Grand Nationals from Colorado, I believe. I could be mistaken about that, but if I'm not mistaken, Colorado, the Iturriaga brothers from Mexico making their return here, 10th and 12th at the moment. McCune in 11th, and Skidmore was a driver who we found off the racetrack in the 850 CRG machine. So unfortunate start of his day, but whenever we talk about warm-up sessions, it's all kind of just to shake off the rust from the day before, to wake up, make sure you're awake, make sure you kind of know how to hit your marks going into heat racing action. And Riley, I mean, you're a driver with a lot of experience running, many national events under your belt as well. Kind of some contact there further back in the field as we look at it. And that's definitely not what you want to do this morning warm-up session. Just kind of want to knock the gremlins off and kind of get into that racing mood.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about getting into the rhythm. And I always used to put a lot of extra pressure on myself in the warm-up. I'm like, I want to go P1. I want to start the day great. But really what makes the day starting great is just being able to get in the rhythm, keeping everything clean, keeping the car on track, just making sure everything's right for race time. Because, you worked on it all weekend through practice, and now it's just time to just get settled and get rolling.
No, for sure. Making it easier on your mechanic or your dad that's working on your machine, right? Kind of making that easier for them and having them, with less work to do going into a very important heat race, which I think are not going to be progressive heat races. So it's going to be, kind of you go do a heat race and then you start from the same place that you qualified. That's why qualifying was so important yesterday. But I mean, the scenes that we get here in Amarillo, it's a very, I guess, very flat plains and whatever it may be, but we get some great views like this that you don't get anywhere else. Some windmills in the background and what's I guess I don't know if you could call it the desert of Texas, but West Texas definitely provides some good views.
You know, everybody talks a lot of mess about it being flat and it being boring, but man, there's something about West Texas that's just beautiful.
Yeah, and yesterday, yes, especially yesterday, you know, we had the chance to go out and see the Palo Duro Canyons as well, Cadillac Ranch here as well. So some good scenes to see in Amarillo. We left our mark in some of those scenes.
There are actually things to do here, which is cool.
Yeah, it's definitely not boring for the families that come. And for us, I mean, I've been at Amarillo multiple times, haven't really gone out, but being here this weekend and with, I guess, not as tight of a schedule as we're used to having, kind of getting out and seeing things. And we even took a stroll down the Windmill Road here next door. So that's always fun stuff to see, you know, stuff that I'm not used to seeing in Houston, stuff that you're not used to seeing in, I guess, well, you were from Dallas, but Austin now. You know, very different cities, and coming out, I guess, to the country, to the west, and seeing the views out here is definitely interesting for us.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people get turned off by the whole West Texas thing about it being flat, but I mean, there is some kind of magic about it, and this is an actual cool place to come and race. You know, there's lots of things to do downtown. There's lots of restaurants to eat at, great hotels like the one we're staying at this weekend.
For sure.
And there's a great racetrack. I mean, this place has grown so much in the past couple of years. It's amazing to see. Like, I remember coming here, you know, when they first opened this track a few years ago, and it was awesome then, and it's so much better now. I mean, it's big ups to the guys at, you know, Amarillo Kart Complex, Ka100 Junior, those people. So, yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, no, for sure. Big up to the entire TB Kart, Amarillo Kart Complex team, Ka100 leading this operation to kind of provide, I guess, this building for us. And we have a VIP section here this weekend as well. So that's all cool to kind of provide it. Route 66 going straight through the city, you know. So this is all great views going all the way, I guess, Route 66, obviously, from California all the way to the Midwest. So it's cool that Amarillo Kart Complex is kind of one of the sites to see around here. And hopefully, you know, it's super cool during the day. Imagine if we had night races out here. That'd be something else.
Be a whole lot of snakes and coyotes, I'll tell you that.
Oh, for sure. But definitely a lot of plans here for this place. I guess for us, every racetrack that we go to, you kind of start planning, like, oh, we could do this, make a stadium, make this and that. But, you know, I mean,
it's like
definitely
with this place, I mean, there's been so many great events that's come here recently.
For sure.
You know, and those events are growing in numbers. As people come more accustomed to the track and, you know, find the real beauty and the more fun behind this place, I think, you know, we're going to see more and more events come here.
Yeah, and then you have the cornfields here right next door and providing us some I guess, good views as well, some nice greenery. But this is all definitely something to look out for here. And we'll be right back after this quick commercial break and bring you guys some more on-track action. You're watching Kart Chaser's live coverage of the IKF Grand Nationals.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
I need a new 219 chain. I need a 77 tooth wrist sprocket. I need some more chain lube, and I need it probably as soon as like tomorrow. Dude, are you even listening? Like, we need this to run this weekend.
Want anything else?
What do you mean?
I already got it in the car on Acceleration Kart Racing's online store, bro. All orders over $200 get free shipping.
Oh, throw in a set of tires.
Done.
Everything you need, all in one place and shipped to your door for free on orders of $200 or more. Exclusions apply. Shop AKR.com.
I'm David Serra, 18-time Australian karting champion, and we're launching Kart Class. Kart Class is an advanced digital training program that suits a driver who's just starting out in the sport, all the way to the driver looking to win a national championship. In this program, you're going to be learning about how to find the ideal racing line and what an apex is. Braking and throttle markers, wet weather racing lines, and how to overtake other competitors. We target how to brake in the wet weather, and we look on the mental side of kart racing as well with our mental skills coach. At the completion of this program, you'll be lighting up purple sectors in qualifying, know when to defend on the opening laps, and how to pressure your opposition into mistakes. We teach you the tools to be resilient and how to get in the right frame of mind before a race. We look to complete the whole package by getting a strong mindset, a driving style to suit all conditions, strategizing your race, and getting the last 1% from your team. We'll teach you how to win the final lap of a race, driving the wet like Max Verstappen, and creating the perfect bubble for yourself to mentally be in the zone. To find out more, click the link below.
Welcome back to on-track action here with our 206 cadets. Aston Wyatt leading our train here at the moment with Sawyer Chambers right behind him. Tyler Morwick in this group as well in the 275 Trackside Karting Services train here as well as they go around the last little bit in the last section here. And some of these drivers have been on, I guess, in the spotlight so far this year. Sawyer Chambers at the Cup Karts North America Summer Nationals was fighting it out for the win in that 206 cadet class there, and unfortunately came up just short to Nicholas Mose, but definitely showed a lot of pace in his Kart Republic's Ferguson Truck Center machine. And for Aston Wyatt as well, last week found himself in a 10-kart battle at the SCUSA Summer Nationals at Newcastle Motorsports Park with a PSL Burrell Arm team, and he makes his return here this weekend on track action in 206 Cadet and in Mini Swift. Struggled a little bit yesterday in the qualifying session for Aston Wyatt, who I believe had some sort of clutch issues from what I heard from him speaking this morning at the hotel. So we'll see what it looks like for Aston as this day continues to progress. But these drivers absolutely locked and loaded here in a train and pushing each other along. And they're your three fastest drivers on the racetrack, rightfully so. Marshall Steves in the 4th spot. White currently P5, Ruiz 6th. McCormick in 7th, Osborne in 8th, Mitchell in 9th, and Vargas 10th here at the moment. Tanner Barsh was the driver on the pole position here yesterday and was a pole position in both of your cadet classes in Mini Swift and in, two of your three cadet classes in Mini Swift and in 206 cadet. So he just joined that CRG Nordam MSL Racing team here as well. His first race, I guess, on live TV here this weekend for him with that CRG team. Theo Mitchell there as well. Benjamin Osborne with them as well. So a packed house for that entire MSL, I guess, cadet team here this weekend with more drivers, the likes of Cohen Summers in the senior categories for them. But up next, we have our KA Seniors, and he'll be out on the racetrack next as they continue to jockey for position here on the racetrack and try to find whatever bit of real estate that they can get. And 17 seconds left in this session. This will be the final time around for all of these drivers.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
I need a new 219 chain. I need a 77 tooth rear sprocket. I need some more chain lube, and I need it probably as soon as like tomorrow. Dude, are you even listening? Like, we need this to run this weekend.
Want anything else?
What do you mean?
I already got it in the Karting Acceleration Kart Racing's online store, bro. All orders over $200 get free shipping.
Oh, throw in a set of tires.
Done.
Everything you need, all in one place and shipped to your door for free on orders of $200 or more. Exclusions apply. Shop AKR.com.
I'm David Serra, 18-time Australian karting champion, and we're launching Kart Class. Kart Class is an advanced digital training program that suits a driver who's just starting out in the sport, all the way to the driver looking to win a national championship. In this program, you're going to be learning about how to find the ideal racing line and what an apex is, braking and throttle markers, wet weather racing lines, and how to overtake other competitors. We target how to brake in the wet weather, and we look on the mental side of kart racing as well with our mental skills coach. At the completion of this program, you'll be lighting up purple sectors in qualifying, know when to defend on the opening laps, and how to pressure your opposition into mistakes. We teach you the tools to be resilient and how to get in the right frame of mind before a race. We look to complete the whole package by getting a strong mindset, a driving style to suit all conditions, strategizing your race, and getting the last 1% from your team. We'll teach you how to win the final lap of a race, driving the wet like Max Verstappen, and creating the perfect bubble for yourself to mentally be in the zone. To find out more, click the link below.
Welcome back to the IKF Grand Nationals. Your KA100 Senior is out on the racetrack now, and up here in the booth with me, the one and only Jerry Fandry, who makes his return to Texas from the Midwest, as we see Truly Adams making a move here after this back straightaway. And Jerry, some of your TB car teammates out on the racetrack at the moment: Xander Clements, Jake Faulkner, Alex Stanfield, Dallas Dunlap as well. And for your first time, I guess, here in Amarillo, and for what could be, I think, your third time in Texas this season, what's the year been like for you, you know, after you have a lot of laps under your belt in the Midwest, but, you know, coming to Texas tracks, what's it been like this year, I guess, with the TB car team?
Yeah, Caleb, it's been pretty good, you know, especially, you know, racing from, you know, CKA in the Midwest and Route 66. Coming over here to Texas has been pretty big change, as Alex right there makes a good move by Dallas Dunlap. And, you know, I think it's been a big change for me having to adjust to the driving style out here. It's a lot more aggressive. They don't really push as much. And, you know, adjusting to that at NOLA was pretty tough. But, you know, we had a pretty good runs through the heats with 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. And then just got ran off a little bit in the final. And then Speed Sport struggled a little bit with engine. Ended up changing it for the final, having a good run from, I think, like 33rd to 12th. So, not bad. And Amarillo here, testing pretty good Thursday, and then Friday was pretty good. We had a hub slide in on us in qualifying, so coming from the rear. And, yeah, I'm just happy to be here, and it seems like Briggs is going to be a gearing game, Caleb.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, we talked a lot yesterday and talked a lot about kind of different gears that a lot of people are using. And see Landon Skinner there on the Trackside Karting Services GFC work his way into the pits early. So we'll try and catch up with him at some point here this weekend and see what went amiss on his GFC machine. But Jerry, on the 206 side of things, you know, we talked a lot about the difference in gearing and how that was probably going to make or break somebody's weekend here, especially in qualifying. It was different for many other drivers, and either dealing with engines and kind of adjusting if your engine had more bottom end than before, and kind of adjusting the gear to that, you know. So that was one of the big issues. And I know you're not exactly going to tell us what gear you're running because your competitors are definitely out there and listening, but you know, what is something that you would kind of look for here? Because there is very long straightaways, but there's also a lot of kind of low-speed hairpins at this racetrack.
Yeah, Caleb, it seems like here in Briggs, everyone is within, you know, 2 teeth. You know, you either go a little higher to get out of the corners better and struggle a little bit at the end of the straightaway, or, you know, you go that tooth lower to struggle a little bit out of the slower stuff, but, you know, then you can make moves at the end of the straightaway if you can keep up, you know, out of the corners. But, you know, yesterday in qualifying, it was really just draft. You know, whoever played the biggest strategy and got the biggest toe, you know, would be, you know, in your top 5. So Alex, Aiden played it perfectly, pushed the whole time, 1-2.
Clements falls back. They're 8th at the moment for Clements, 9th for Summers here. Peyton Phillips as well here this weekend, currently 5th in his high 5 OTK machine, who had, I guess, a good day of qualifying yesterday, finishing 2nd, so just short of the eagle to Alex Stanfield. So those TB cars definitely rolling here at their home track. Troy Adams has been a driver who's been super quick as well, working his way into the top 5. And, you know, I guess moving over to the KA side of things, Jerry, I know you have a couple laps in a KA, but who are some of the drivers that you're looking out for here this weekend, especially in this class?
Yeah, I'd say there's really a strong 3 you got to watch for today. Alex, and then, you know, we'll take a look at Peyton Phillips, who yesterday really wanted to run lone by himself, lonesome, just running it with no toe. And I think the other one, I'm trying to remember, I think it was Landon Skinner was pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Landon Skinner, I mean, has also been quick almost every single weekend and every single racetrack that we go to at the Texas Racing Series. Obviously, we saw him pit early in this session with some issues or something. I don't know what it was, but he was looking over at that on the left side of his kart. So could be anything here for Landon Skinner, who is in the pits now. But you see already that big drafter by Truly Adams. And if you're going to make a move here, it kind of seems like you need to commit and you need to go and kind of have that trust on your brakes to really get the move done here, Jerry.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, if you can't fully commit to a move, especially with how long the straight's here, if you half commit to a move and you don't get the move done, you know, you're run to that next braking zone, that you have no momentum. So, you know, you really got to fully commit and make the moves and get going forward.
Yeah, well, if you guys heard from Jerry, if you're going to make a move, you really have to commit and kind of have that trust on your brakes. But Peyton Phillips, quickest driver here in this morning warm-up session, on 104.505. Truly Adams 2nd, Sandfield 3rd, Dunlap 4th, and Cohen Summers rounds up your top 5. Jerry, it was a pleasure to get to talk to you, I guess, before you go out onto the racetrack, and I'm sure you'll have a good day. You're starting from, I believe, 9th later on today, so 9th for you. And what's going to be the strategy, I guess, going into the heat races?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, there seems to be a drop-off after Reagan behind me. It looks like we have the 990 off at the end of the session here. But yeah, there seems to be a drop-off after Reagan behind me in 10th. So I think there's probably going to be a couple of groups break up after 10th. So yeah, definitely it's going to be crucial to stay in that lead draft. You know, if we lose that lead draft, it's going to be tough to get back into it. But, you know, we got 3 heats, so we got time to work forward and, you know, change strategy as the day goes on. But yeah, the guys around me, I like them around, so just make it through the starts clean and work our way forward.
Well, there you guys had it from Jerry Fandrew, who gets set to go green here in a couple of moments' time for the TB Kart South Amarillo Kart Complex. Team Jerry, it was a pleasure having you up here with us, and we'll see you on track here shortly. Good luck.
Thank you, Caleb.
Parallel USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parallel Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParalleLUSA.com.
So you finally want to get behind the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I've been shooting for 3 years and I've never got to drive.
Well, you're going to need some more gear than just your helmet. Why don't you go to shopakr.com. They got their inventory online and they'll ship it the same day if you order before 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
They got shoes?
Yep.
Gloves?
Yep.
Rip protectors?
Got those too.
Can they make me go fast?
No.
Here at Acceleration Kart Racing, we've got everything you need to get on track. What happens next? Well, that's on you. Check us out online at shopakr.com.
Are you looking for an advantage in your competition? Well, Kart Class has done the hard work for you. We've traveled to your racetracks to give you the inside knowledge. So what does Kart Class offer? We've got drone footage that captures the racing lines, visual markers for your braking points, acceleration zones, and the best overtake opportunities on your racetrack. pedal cam to show you where to brake and when to accelerate, and 360-degree footage to make sure you don't miss any parts on the racetrack. We've covered 13 racetracks in the United States, and Australia, you're up next. So visit kartclass.com to get your track information.
Welcome back to on-track action here at the IKF Grand Nationals at Amarillo Kart Complex. And who better to join us up here in the booth than the one and only Ka100 who's, I guess, made a lot of upgrades to a place like this after taking ownership a couple of years ago. And Kyle, an event like this, you've had a lot more events, I guess, come your way throughout, I guess, throughout this year. Rotex came out here, and then the IKF Grand National, TSRS makes its return for 2 weekends here, obviously this weekend and later on in the year for the season finale. But what's it been like, I guess, taking the reins at a racetrack like this here in the Panhandle?
It's been a wild ride, I tell you that. I had, you go into a business. I've owned tons of businesses in the past, and this is just another business, but it's been probably 10 times more work and 10 times just more stuff that we have to do and plan for than we ever have before in any other business. It's incredible.
And especially, I mean, running a team as well this year with the TB Kart South team. You guys were obviously at the SCUSA Summer Nationals last week with Luke Cruz and Dallas Dunlap. You put some laps in the shifter as well. So, I mean, what's all that been like, I guess, becoming a team owner as well and a track owner at the same time? Because we have a couple of those guys at the sport, and it's not very often that we get to talk to them.
Well, there's sometimes in life you have to look back at your past and say, man, what the heck was I thinking? And jumping in a shifter for the first time at Summer Nats was definitely that moment for me.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, this weekend you have the Duffy Trophy coming, I guess, to your track wherever we'll crown a couple of drivers. But you have a couple of drivers here this weekend within good contention. 2 in 206 Senior, or I should say a couple with also the R2, I guess, racing team and the Slipstream team that's kind of joining forces with you as well, and more dealers, I guess, on your side as well. So what's it been like, and who are some of the drivers that I guess you have some faith in to get it done this weekend?
Well, I think right now, so for KA, I think, like I said, Stanfield's always going to be there because that's just who he is. He's going to put it on point no matter, especially at this track. I think he's pretty much close to undefeated here at NTK and a few other tracks. So he's definitely one to watch here. And so Xander's getting better and faster here. He was running top 2, top 3 all weekend until qualifying. And in LO, we've got Jerry Fandry, Alex Stanfield also in that class. I'll be running in LO Master, which I had a horrible qualifying, but I didn't even get I got a brand new design kart that we're just now releasing that I put myself on for the weekend that we've never even tested. So it's going to be a test for me to get that thing rolling and put it up front. So that should be fun.
Yeah, and I saw that kind of like a red TB kart with a little bit different sticker livery. So talk to us a little bit about that, right? Is that any different to what you guys are used to running standardly, or?
Yes. Well, we'd have to, on these, they're a lot like other karts. We have to slam the seats forward on these these, so I redid the front bars right in front of your seat where your gas tank mounts. It's forward. I put snipers on the front, spindles to make it super easy to do it. I've also got a softer front end built for this because in America all of our karts are built for Europe, for overseas.
Correct.
And so what we're doing is I'm trying to soften the front end so you'd have to do less on the back end. So all of your tuning, everything can be done up front, not slamming axles, changing axles, killing your mechanics every weekend.
No, correct. And I guess that's something, interesting because you have, like you said, some mechanics here this weekend who are kind of dipping around and helping each other out and kind of doing a lot of work on a racetrack like this, especially because throughout the weekend, a lot of drivers have said that this kind of track is with the heat and, we get up to 100+ degrees here on any given weekend. So a lot of drivers find themselves with a lot of grip, especially with the new compound as well. I know you guys kind of found yourselves with a lot of grip, but what's kind of been the difference in between, your new, prototype chassis compared to the other chassis you guys have under the garage?
I'll tell you this, after this last session, it's only been my third session on the new chassis. And after the warm-ups this morning, I feel pretty confident and the design that we did, that it's going to be fast, it'll be rolling. I think in the heat races in the main, you'll see a different kart.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you're getting yourself back in the seat this weekend as well, right? From shifter back to the 206 side of things here this weekend. And what's that been like? You're racing against the guys like Todd Barron, Phil Pignataro, and other guys who already have some Duffys to their names, and you're looking, to add yourself to that list.
It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. Those guys have really set a great example for this class over the years. They've been here, they've done it, they've won it, and so it's going to be great going up against really, really stout competition.
Well, Kyle Uchinsky, it's been a pleasure to have you up here with us. And actually, we're going to keep you on because we have our KA Masters coming up next.
Man.
It's going to be something to watch, and we'll let you, take us through a lap around this place when they do get onto the racetrack here. But always a pleasure to have you here with us. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have Kyle Uchinsky up here with the booth still to take us through the KA100 Masters class and show us a lap around Amarillo Kart Complex.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
Our KA Masters on the racetrack now here, and Kyle, you were just telling us that the lap times get faster and faster every time that these Masters get here, and it's just the drivers that come out here. And who are some of the drivers to look out for here this weekend in this Masters class?
I think Randy Rogers and Pepe De La Garza, those two have been, Rogers has been just incredible. The difference in pace that he's had the last 2 years, like last year he got faster, and this year he's at the front. Whenever we run TSRS, national events, he's doing really, really well. And they are on course, on pace this year, that by looking at it, be almost a second faster right now on these new compound tires on this track than we qualified last year at TSRS. And I believe I qualified second last year, and we were just about 8/10 slower than they're running, the fast guys are running today.
Wow, and like you said, kind of the new compound has also added a little bit of more grip, being I guess a rubber compound and adding that I guess that much more grip here this weekend. And the first time I guess that we come out here with a new compound, when you guys came out here for Rotax, it was the Mojo tire obviously, but this is I guess different for you and for some of these drivers as well. So you were slated to run, I guess, 2 classes here this weekend, but only the 206 Masters for you. But kind of looking at these guys kind of go at it here on the racetrack, does that kind of give you, I guess, the itch to get out there with them, or kind of want to stay back and take the reins of your team here this weekend?
Oh, I would have loved to have been out there this week, and it's just that I've got so many people under the tent, and me owning the track and doing the event and everything else, it would have just been a nightmare for me to try to do both. And I wasn't going to run at all. And then, of course, all my guys, Alex and Xander, everybody else talked me into putting the new cart up. Just, you got the cart. Let's go ahead and just do it this race. Let's get it out there. So I went ahead and threw that LO together, but I definitely love KA. I really like what I'm seeing right now just from the guys that are on track. Super, super smooth. I think with the carburation, a lot of your engine builders found a lot of stuff in the carburetors over the last year, and it's made everything a lot quicker. It's got the competition a lot closer, and you can see it on the track, how fast they are, mid-range, low-end, compared to a year ago.
No, for sure, and everything, every time we come out to a different racetrack, or every year whenever the season starts, you see engine builders kind of pick up their game to compete with another engine builder, or just to go that even bit faster if they found something new with either carburation or whatever it is inside of these engines, and for teams as well, trying new things with the chassis, trying new parts, trying, cooling, I guess, wheels that kind of came out this year, and we're starting to see a lot this year. So very different things, and it's kind of interesting to hear it from a team owner and a track owner as well, who wants to provide the best for their team and something new, something to get them that little bit of edge wherever they may go.
Right. You can see there's a new magnesium compound, a new magnesium rim that came out that actually has like cooling built into it, so they're hollow in the middle and they pull air from behind and pull them out through the side to cool, to take all the heat out of your tires, and they've really made a difference. So we introduced them at Summer Nats, and so Ania from TB's got those all designed and done, so we've just started running those. We're not running them this weekend. Actually, for me, at TB Kart South, we will have 10 sets of those coming in, and we'll be launching those here in the next probably 2 races.
Yeah, well, with the next one for you guys, I've been slated to be DKC, Texas Sprint Racing Series. So that'll be something to look out for that weekend with the TB Kart South team. And I mean, we've kind of heard of those rims before with the GFC team, had them earlier on in the year, but definitely something to look out for here. As Kyle says, his team will be a hold of those, I guess, new rims later on in the year, 2 weeks time, like you said, at DKC. And this year, I mean, you're a guy who raced here last year as well at the Texas Racing Series, found yourself, I guess, up and fighting for, I believe last year for the 206 heavy class, you guys had a cash prize at TSRS, yes, sir, of about like $1,000 for the winner of that 206 heavy class, and you got in there, kind of got your toes wet with the High Five team, but it's a little bit different for you this year, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, it's a lot different this year. It's different being on the other side of ownership and doing everything else. It's been exciting, it's been challenging, and honestly, it's just helped me grow as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, because I'm having to rethink the way I do stuff, manage stuff, how I advertise and everything else. And so that's all comes into play, and karting has just really spun me for a loop, because it's completely, on the business side of it, is completely new to me, but I'm learning, I'm picking it up, and I'm realizing it's just like any other business. You just have to plan, and then you just have to, you have to push that, put the plan into action that you have. And so we've increased our advertising, everything here. So our rentals are doing really good. We're doing a ton of corporate stuff now here at Amarillo Kart Complex. We have a lot of new people coming in to test. We're doing a lot of drivers coaching, everything else here. And it's really been a pleasure watching my staff and my team grow the business here, really taking the vision that God's given me and putting it at the track. And we're growing really by leaps and bounds. It's really been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, I think one of the coolest parts when we come here is kind of seeing your entire family being here, your brother Brad, your brother Joe, and kind of all working in unison to kind of, push the track or push the team. And like you said, growing the rentals or growing the team and whatnot, I think has been the most interesting thing to see from a family side of things.
Well, my mom loves it. My mom's 76 years old. She's here today. She loves racing. Of course, a lot of people don't know it, but I grew up, my dad raced professionally, Top Fuel, Funny Cars, and Dragsters. So I grew up racing, going all over the country with him racing, and down into Mexico and everywhere else. And then when I turned 11, he sold all of his stuff, and I started racing go-karts. Of course, I'm 53 now. But this would have been, if my dad was here, this would have been his dream. Owning a track, doing stuff, being around racing all the time. So my mom, since my dad just absolutely loves it, and we're a tight-knit family. We're business partners together. And I built a pretty good business, and then my brothers left their 9-to-5 jobs and came, and now they're all working with me, along with my mom. And so it's really been awesome, challenging, but helping us grow as a family, and it's been really, really well.
Well, Kyle, it's been a pleasure having you up here and kind of giving us a little bit of your story and stuff to look out for here at your beautiful racetrack here in Amarillo. So it's been a pleasure having you with us, and that was all from Kyle Uchinski, family man, team owner, and track owner. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
So you finally want to get behind the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I've been shooting for 3 years and I've never got to drive.
Well, you're gonna need some more gear than just your helmet. Why don't you go to shopakr.com. They got their inventory online and they'll ship it the same day if you order before 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
They got shoes?
Yep.
Gloves?
Yep.
Rip protectors?
Got those too.
Can they make me go fast?
No.
Here at Acceleration Kart Racing, we've got everything you need to get on track. What happens next? Well, that's on you. Check us out online at shopakr.com.
Here at MPG Motorsports, our main goal is to provide the best pathway into professional motorsports for our entire team, drivers and mechanics alike. We're based out of Whiteland Raceway Park in Indiana. For more information, contact us at chase@mpg-motorsports.com.
Studies show that even the best current generation of simulators only convince 50% of the human brain that they are real. Here at Simcraft, that just isn't realistic enough. Developed to offer the most realistic karting sim experience in the world, all testing has shown that the physics engine used in Simcraft's Grid 1 model convinces 90% of the human brain that you are actually on track. Now that is the real deal.
Welcome back here to on-track action as our 206 seniors get set to go green. 32 drivers total are going to fight it out to determine who's going to win the Duffy tomorrow. And you see this train of cars here with the point car at the moment, Alex Stanfield right behind him. Aiden Rudolph, your Eagle winner in pole position, pole sitter for the 3 heat races coming on later today. Reagan Seville in that group. Christian White, and more here this weekend. It's a very, very stacked class. Truly Adams here this weekend as well. Jerry Fandry makes his returns to Texas side karting. Landon Skinner here in this group as well. So a lot of drivers to look out for. Jacob Oliver, Todd Barron is going to, dip his toes into the senior class here this weekend. So going to be something to look out for here this weekend. And if you look over to the left-hand side of your screen and look at the times, Josie Chambers, the quickest driver on the racetrack at the moment, only the first lap. And you see there Fandry lifting his arm up and looking to get some, track position here at the moment. So going to wait for a pack and to really set in a good lap. It's kind of hard to do it on your own. So smart enough by Fandry to kind of wait up for the rest of the group and try and set in a lap here. Leon Garrett Weaver as well out here with the TB Kart team. Brother Jay Weaver under the TB Kart team as well here this weekend. Ethan Heath, Landon Skinner, Matthew Ruth, Hamza Razadagic, Jensen Harrell, Todd Barron, Rudolph Seville, Oliver Stanfield, Bryce Frank, Truly Adams, Rafael Kraus, Michael Haymans, Tyler Stevens makes his return to karting here this weekend as issues here for what looks to be Aiden Rudolph with rear bumper. That's come loose. So he's going to work his way into the pits. Bryce Frank there on your screen. Truly Adams with him. Kelvin Zing not too far off as all these drivers continue to lap around. Tyler Stevens right at the end of that group in his high 5 OTK. The Invader machines from Nevada here this weekend as well. So wants to watch the Kart Republics of Afton Willender and Jensen Harrell here as Harrell finds himself off the racetrack here early on. And a lot of drivers and a lot of class in this field. 30 drivers here total. And I believe we could have more than that. So 30 drivers here at the moment. The biggest class, the marquee class here this weekend at the IKF Grand Nationals. So for a national event, it's pretty good to see this many 206 seniors out on the racetrack. And they're fighting for one of the most coveted trophies here in karting, the Duffy. And for last year's winner, it was Christopher McKeithen, CKNA Grand Nationals champion last year, and won a whole lot under his belt. Now this year, it's going to be somebody else's. McKeithen not here, and the Grand Nationals obviously haven't happened yet. That's all the way up until October when we head back to Newcastle Motorsports Park. But this weekend, it's going to start, who's going to take in the most momentum to bigger, not bigger, but other 206 marquee events later on this year. And it all starts here with the Duffy. And people talk about kind of, the Triple Crown in karting, or what could be the Triple Crown. The Duffy definitely one of the trophies on that list this year. So be something to look out for as more and more drivers kind of jockey for position. Chambers still the quickest driver on the racetrack here. And as I say that, Bryce Frank to the top of the timing screens at 114.130 for the MGM AR Academy driver here. Truly Adams right behind him in second, and right behind him on the racetrack as well in his VLR machine at 114.185. So a couple of hundredths off of Frank's time. Matthew Winfrey, the driver who was really quick yesterday and put in some really good laps in qualifying, finding himself inside of the top 5 at 114.217 for Matthew Winfrey. Alex Stanfield starting second later on today in this 206 class at 114.369 at the moment. Kelvin Zing at 114.614, and kind of your usual suspects at the Texas Racing Series are your usual suspects here this weekend, with a couple of new names like Winfrey and a couple of others kind of getting themselves into the mix. But checkered flag is out this time around, and we'll see what the lap times look like when they cross the stripe. Frank still at the top, and he doesn't improve his lap time, but stays at the top. Adams in second, Winfrey third, Stanfield in fourth, Chambers fifth, Kelvin Zing as some changes happen here. Jacob Oliver, your new driver up top. Jerry Fandry to fourth, so a little bit of shuffling and a good weekend for Oliver, who had a good end to the year last year with the AR Academy team, but moved teams earlier on this year, a couple of top 5s and a couple of good finishes for him to start off his year. So some changes going on here around, but with a 206 senior class getting set to come into the pits. That is going to be it for our free coverage here this morning for the IKF Grand Nationals. Make sure to switch over or become a KC Premium member for $9.99 a month and watch all the racing action live. 3 heat races coming our way here next. You're watching Kart Chasers live coverage of the IKF Grand Nationals. We'll see you on the other side.